Hello, welcome back to the DIY channel on Edinger Travel. So I'm here with Bliss.
Hi.
And we are totally inexperienced, but I've successfully painted the ceiling of my room. And today's goal, paint each of these three walls a nice off-white that's not white at all. It's off-white, okay? And then we're going to be going with a nice soft green for here and making it board and batten, which will really elevate my space, make it look a bit taller, longer, and I think it'll just look really cool. And so we're going to have to try and use a caulk gun, a saw. I've got the board, some MDF, 9mm wide. Woo! I've done a lot of research. Let's hope I don't mess this up. First off, though, easy pie. Let's just start with this. Thank you for helping me with the tape there. I made a lot of mistakes on the last one, getting paint everywhere, but I just cleaned it up. It didn't seem so bad. So that's just my tip, is don't be stressed about making mistakes, because if you do, you can clean it up. Anyway, let's go. All right, so first step, the thing that I forgot on the first day, but not today, just opened the can, and oh, that looks like mayonnaise. Yes, I'm painting my walls with mayonnaise, so I'm just making sure to mix the paint, because it did look like there was a bit of separation over some time there. Oh yeah.
That looks so good.
Say, Evan, that's pretty much the same white. No, listen, this is very off-white. You'll see.
You'll all see.
I feel like the only thing that people are going to notice is really the green when I put on. I got these little disposable things so I can always keep it clean.
I don't actually know what that is.
So it's a paint pan.
Okay.
There we go.
So you pour it from that into the... Rather
Rather than carrying this incredibly heavy paint bucket, can, all around where you could spill it, now there's a magnet right here.
No.
So that way you don't have it like go all the way in like my first day. So I can just dip, 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 and get to painting. So as usually in the case, if you're gonna be painting some walls, ceilings, whatnot, you gotta sand it first. So I'm gonna be sanding this. I've also taken down my lovely poster. Oh, and look at that, pulled up some paint. They say that the command strips don't peel up paint, but it depends if you've got this new build paint. Like I said, there's a reason why I'm painting my whole house. Quality's pretty low on this paint, and so now I'm gonna get some good quality. Nice and simple, up and back, not missing any spot. Easy.
Like that.
That's good, yeah. It shouldn't be too hard, so.
So obviously not like that.
All right, you're try and do small areas. I feel like it's a little bit easier. First step, arguably, always going to be cutting in. The corners supposedly need a lot more paint because they're thirsty. Also, I dropped this boy in, so he's got a bit more paint than he's meant to. But, let's see, I'm going to start further away, and then, there we go. Not bad. I don't think I'm doing it 100% correctly, but it seems to be working.
You're not wiping the paintbrush on the side or anything?
No, that's supposedly something you're meant to do. As in, like, some people say to do it, and then some people say you want to get it all on, so I don't know who to trust. So the only person I can trust is myself. Very important to note, something that I forgot, because I didn't really have to worry about this too much on the ceiling. As with the ceiling, where I had to kind of unplug a lot of these so that we could paint on the inside of it, we've just unscrewed these little light fixtures here, just so we have the ability. Now, I didn't fully pull them out because effort. However, look, Bliss is doing great. Good job, bud. All right, we're nearly done cutting in. Pro tip, if you're really enjoying yourself, you're listening to some Alt-J, a little cave town, you get lost in the painting, you might accidentally paint the wrong wall. Don't do that. So I'll have to really sand that down and hopefully fix that for the green. But everything's looking pretty good. I've been doing the ceiling, and Bliss is cutting all of this. How you doing? Is it fun?
Fun.
Content. This is my first time actually painting a wall, and I've learned, oh God, I've already seen a mistake. Shoot. I've made a couple mistakes in that the line in which, basically, there's a curved bit where the wall meets the ceiling, and I find that it's really difficult to get that. And if you play it safe and just make sure you get the wall, what you end up with is really jagged lines that look really bad. And I think that might be the case of not using tape. Like, maybe that's it. But then again, I still think we'd have the same issue, so. Italians love to paint. Ask Nikos. Here, my good friend. Ask Mr. Nikos. Nikos, you like to paint our flat? No, you never Oh yeah. Laying it on nice and thick. And then we're getting that nice sound, so we're gonna come back here. Let's see, make sure it's, that's it. Down to the top, down as low as possible, up as high as I can go. As you can see, there's paint all over my face. The sign that most of it's on the wall, I have to say, but there's definitely a large proportion on my face. A bit messy, but I think most of this wall has been covered now. Oh, there we go. Whee! Just skidding along. Making sure I go all the way to the top. Get that nice textured roll in there. Oh, make sure to scrape the other side of the wall. And then, oh, there we go. Nice, even pressure. Evan, why aren't you using the pole? I just have much more control without the pole. It's a Nicki Minaj song. She was working the pole for too long. Now she's broken free. Making hit albums. You might be wondering, what the heck is this thing? It's like a little roller, but the long stick, well, it's because it's really hard to get behind the radiator, so... Oh, look at that! He really does the job. Such a cute little boy. Wow, the difference is crazy. That's so, like, it's like not warm white, it's like beige. So we've successfully finished our second coat on these walls. It's a beautiful color of like cream. And now we're gonna try and do this wall, which is that October Mist green. We only have 2 people to move the bed, so here we go. All right, let's use the knees.
Hang on a second. Are you sure this is the right configuration?
3,
Need I do
2,
that?
1. Yep, not bad. And I know when I put these up, I'd have to take them down, but it's been a really nice 2 months. Goodbye, friends. When I put these back up, I'm hoping to put them up with nails and not with command strips. All right, so the moment I've been waiting for honestly ages, because this is the most important like paint job that I've wanted to do since I moved in. I've always wanted this wall to be the accent wall, to be interesting, to be a different color, and I chose the October Mist color, that nice neutral green, ages ago, and now everything else has been done. Ceiling, other walls, that's the only thing left in terms of that before I then do the trim. But that's the last step, okay? This, and then also as you can see here, we've got all the different boards. If you're trying to recreate this type of thing that I'm doing as well, these are MDF wood, 9mm thick, and they're 10 centimeters wide. I measured it out using Photoshop so that I could have it spaced out exactly the way I want. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. It is such a big project mentally that I've been putting it off for 1,000 years. But here we are. So my first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be painting the entire wall the green. And then while it's drying the first coat, then I'm gonna be sanding these down and painting them. Then I paint the second coat, wait for that to dry, and then guess what? Boom! Time to put liquid nails up and pray to God it works. Let's go! Time to mix up the paint. As you can see, it's definitely separated quite a bit. So, all right, oh. Ooh, that looks delicious. From what I remember from watching a lot of videos, the rule is you just keep mixing past the point where you think you've mixed enough, and then you've mixed enough. So essentially it's meant to be that neutral color, so that needs quite a lot of mixing because it's separated quite a lot. Yep. And with that, we've now finished all of the prep work. I've now cut in everything nice and smooth, and now we're rolling it on. My first step is to completely cover the wall, since I think it'd be a little bit easier before putting the boards and batten in. And then we'll just put the boards on, paint the boards, caulk it up. Let's stop talking, let's get painting. Yeah! All right.
Let's stop talking, let's get painted.
I am very happy with the way this looks. This is just with one coat, but I am doing a second coat after we put the boards on. So each of our MDF boards is 1220, so it's 1,220 millimeters tall. Now, the height of my room here, I measured it out, is 2,400. minus the skirting board, which is 100, so I'm left with 2,300. So that means we need one of these to go up on the left, and then also, what, like about 5/6 of another. So we're gonna have to do some measuring and some cutting. My friend Luke has let me borrow his jigsaw. I don't have a fancy saw that the other DIY channels have, but we will try to make our best with what we have. Here we are, it's the evening, so let's see how far we get along with this. So why don't we just start laying out the bottoms.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing we could do wrong with the bottoms. It's not like, oh no!
Okay then.
So we'll start with the bottom one, and I think we'll do the left to the right. And then I do think the top one is gonna be next, and then we'll do the middles. I also learned from a video about this before, instead of going from one end to the other, we should start in the middle, because that way, visibly, we don't like run out of space. We run out of half. Even though I've measured many, many times, it does appear that I've gained an extra 3 millimeters, actually 3 centimeters of the entire length of this room. So when I looked at the floor plan of the actual room, it was 4,200, and I was like, good. I then checked it, pretty much 4,200. Pretty much doesn't quite cut it, because it ends up being 4,203. Now, I don't think that 3 centimeters is going to make a big deal over the course of this, as long as I like kind of divvy it out evenly. But I also didn't want to get a brad nailer. I felt like every DIY project that has this is like, get a nail gun. Instead, I got this stuff called No More Nails. It's just like a glue, very strong, and I can basically adhere this to the wall without having to like nail, especially because I don't want to like accidentally nail into a wire or a pipe. Don't have to worry about it. So, just gonna cut this tip. It says, cut off the tip of the cartridge above the thread screw. I have no idea what I'm doing. Nailed it. All right, good.
Nailed.
Literally, because it's no more nails.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, it just keeps coming out. Stop. That's good. Our first board is on. So we've put the ones that we know we can put on now. I have just jigsawed right here, and as you can tell, looking great. Now, in terms of trying to figure out where we're going to be putting these, we're going to be doing middle out, like Silicon Valley. And I've just measured mathematically, each one is 100 millimeters. And since the distance is 4204, if you divide that by the 9 spaces in between and the 100 we're gonna be using, I think it's at 1824 millimeters. From that wall will be the 5th board. And if we start at that one and do the 5th and the 6th and then go towards the ends, it'll be less noticeable if there is any sort of tiny little difference. So that is what we're gonna be doing. We just have to measure out the space. I'm having a laugh.
You sanded that?
Yeah, I sanded that. All right, here we go. So this one, somehow, I can't believe it, was perfectly taut. I measured it myself beforehand, and I thought it was just gonna need a cut, but we're fine. And as you can see, we've pre-measured using this magic stick. I measured this, and it's the exact width. So put that in there. And
Oh, yeah,
this one,
easy, yeah.
yep, goes right there. Amazing. I'm gonna pull this out. And now, extra step. Next, we use this level to ensure. All right, so it's needing to be there. That's perfect. That's good. So we're using our pre-measured little stick here, and we're making sure. Basically, it is 356 millimeters in between each one. And then we just turn to the side like this, and that's where the next board will go. So I'll mark the end of that board right there. And then we just rotate it again. And that is another 356 millimeters. That's a wrap on the saw. Good morning. So here we have what we did last night. This looks pretty great. The goal for today, I'm going to be putting a thin caulking bead in between every single bit. You can see at the top, it's definitely needing a bit more caulk than everywhere else, and this is just gonna give it a nice finish. We're gonna let that dry for an hour, sand it down, paint it over. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We did it. Also, just to note, we slept in this bed last night, and the covers, I think, right in the morning, I like pulled them, and I guess make sure the paint is a lot further than you think, because it's probably still wet, even though you think it's dry, and it took an hour to get the paint out of the linens and my clothes. Lesson learned. Let's get caulking. All right, caulking time. Now, yesterday we didn't realize that there's this fun little button here, which relieves pressure. So every time we stopped gluing, the glue would continuously come out. And so rather than figure this out, we just like put it on the next one so that the glue that kept coming out would be used. But I ran out of all of the liquid nails there, all the no more nails. So we actually really did a good job. I've been told to use an incredibly small amount. Oh, look at that. And then pop that. And now I was told to use a wet finger. So I need to get a small bucket. Dip it in. All we've got left now is the left wall and the entirety of the ceiling and the joinery bits. And if only Bliss was a 6'7" NBA player, or WNBA, I suppose. Not even a netball player. It's been a long time coming, but we just finished sanding the entirety of this wall. Basically, the more caulk you leave behind, the more sand you gotta do. A little sanding. But we've made it all extra smooth, whole wall, all the boards, all the caulk, all sanded down, super smooth, ready to accept our final coat of green paint. And then, this is basically done. With the DIY painting job. Then I can decorate it, put the, framed photos back on the wall and such. But for the most part, soon to be done. We taped.
And do you want the...
What?
Do you want your store to be closer to where you're painting?
No, this makes a lot of sense to me, right? What if I was just like, man, I really liked it before the look. It looked great.
You really like what?
I'd be like, take it down. You're supposed to pull at a 45-degree angle, which I think I'm...
Oh my god, that looks good, Evan.
Wow? Wow. We should have taped everything instead of videotape it. Oh my god. Oh, that is perfect.
Oh, that looks so good.
I listened to all the professionals that were like, you don't need tape. Yes, I do. I am not good at this. Also, it meant we got to paint faster because we didn't have to worry.
Yeah.
Wow, and look at that line. I do have to do some touch-ups. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. The room is pretty much done. Just waiting on blinds to arrive this Sunday, but the difference it is made to just do that to the room, to add that bit of architectural texture to the back wall and to just make sure all the colors unify, it's just so much better. Without further ado, let me show you before and after. Here is my bedroom. Well, that about does it for this project. Thank you so much to everyone for watching these weird little videos in which I'm doing something a little bit different. I really had a blast with this, and I just love the space I'm in so much, and it makes me so happy that after all the time it took for me to get this space, I've now fully, truly made it my own. So thank you so much for catching up on this one. If you'd like, you can watch a previous one or tell me what other DIY things you'd like me to do. Maybe I'll keep that up in between the traveling. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.